Before we get into the video, you might be wondering why you are seeing Deep Rock Galactic gameplay. It is because the subject of the matter of the video is regarding Sony, and this channel has received a copyright strike from a third-party company in behalf of Sony. I am just playing it safe. On to the video. Hello everyone, and thank you for checking out my video. If you read the title, then you probably have an idea what is currently happening in Helldivers 2. If not, let's have a brief explanation. Back in launch day, before you could play the game after doing the tutorial, you were required to link your PSN account and Steam. Obviously, it was broken, and what Arrowhead did was temporarily disable that requirement immediately. Now we have an update regarding account linking. Here is the post. Attention Helldivers, due to technical issues at launch of Helldivers 2, we allowed the linking requirement for Steam accounts to a PlayStation Network account to be temporarily optional. That grace period will now expire. See details below in this post. Account linking plays a critical role in protecting our players and upholding the values of safety and security provided on PlayStation and PlayStation Studio games. This is our main way to protect players from griefing and abuse by enabling the banning of players that engage in that type of behavior. It also allows those players that have been banned the right to appeal. As such, as of May 6th, all new Helldivers 2 players on Steam will be required to connect their Steam account to a PlayStation Network account. Current players on Steam will start to see the mandatory login from May 30th and will be required to have a linked Steam and PlayStation Network account by June 4th. PlayStation Network accounts are free and easy to set up using this link. We understand that while this may be an inconvenience to some of you, this step will help us continue to build a community that you are all proud to be a part of. Many thanks to your continued support of Helldivers 2, Sony Interactive Entertainment. Yes, it has always been a requirement to have a PSN account linked to your Steam in order to play Helldivers 2. Yes, it is an inconvenience, especially if PSN is not available in your country, like me. But will Sony care? Will the player base care? Will Arrowhead care? I don't know. But there was a way to link Steam accounts with the PlayStation Network for countries where PSN is not supported. Remember I said earlier that this was a requirement on launch day? Some players in my country were able to link their Steam account with PSN on launch day. Back then, when you tried to link your Steam account with PSN, it was through the in-game account settings. It will direct you to a link in the PlayStation Network website. If your region does not support PSN, you'll be greeted with a message regarding the matter. What my countrymen did was edit the URL that had the en-ph to the region of their PSN account that was registered. For example, this player has an SG PSN account, so they edited the URL from en-ph to en-sg, and it worked. If I were to do this myself, I would need to edit the URL to en-us, since I have a US PSN account. Now, I am not sure if it will be the same method, and I cannot verify this myself since account linking is still disabled as of right now, but I guess we will find out on May 6th. Since that will be the starting date for new players to have a PSN account to play Helldivers 2 in Steam. I'm not the type of person who posts drama videos, but I felt like this was needed to be shared and maybe show a possible solution for people who are affected by this. I know the game has seen its fair share of drama, especially during weapon balance updates. It's not the end of the world when you need to make a PSN account to play Helldivers 2 or any Sony game. The general player base will most likely not care about it and just make an account. Arrowhead didn't make that decision, Sony did. They even signed on the post. At the end of the day, it's their product, and if you want to use their product, you follow their terms. Unless there's a massive backlash that will happen. I doubt Sony will listen. If you are someone who still doesn't get why players are mad about linking accounts, Reddit user EmbraceMonkey made an excellent post regarding the topic. I will link the post below and I highly recommend to read it as they go even further in the end-user agreement with PSN. For a TLDR, PSN is not available worldwide. Sony has the right to ban anyone who used wrong credentials, so it matters if you are a new or old player. You can say it's the player's fault for not reading the EULA properly, and yes, I agree. I'm fine linking accounts and everything, but selling a game in a country that needs an account or service and having that service not available in that country which you are selling the game is another thing. My concern right now is the impact this has on the game. On a live service game where the players are the life source, I have already seen posts in Reddit, Discord, and other social media regarding this topic. Some see this as not as a huge issue as players make it out to be, and some see this as the final nail in the coffin in regards whether or not they will keep playing Helldivers 2. This is not a call out against any of those players. We all have our standards, beliefs, or whatever you want to call it. You are free to stop or continue playing a game you like or dislike. This just adds another barrier of entry for some and depends on the players if they're willing to go through all of those, especially if the barrier is not supported in their country. As for me, I'm willing to go through those barriers until I hit the brick wall. I would like to emphasize again that the possible solution I said earlier may or may not work. Using a VPN is also another option, but that remains to be seen. So if you're a subscriber of the channel and notice the lack of Helldivers 2 videos, then you know the reason. I'm just some random guy on the internet playing video games, and I upload stuff on YouTube. I managed to get back my old PSN account because I had a PS3 and PS4 back then. I was in active service during the console wars until I grew up and realized how stupid that was, and it was just free marketing for them. I love this game, its developers, and its community, from the angry gamers who are mad because their favorite weapon got nerfed, to players who are just happy and enjoying the game. Arrowhead Game Studio developers and their CEO are actively communicating with their player base, especially when balance patch happens or there's a massive reaction against a certain change. While I was making this video, they locked the discussion thread on the Steam page regarding the account linking. According to the moderator in the Helldivers subreddit, they did it because the comments were devolving into insanity with people threatening each other, not because Arrowhead equals evil. Okay, maybe I don't love the players who threaten anyone with violence. Even I didn't bother reading the replies in that thread. As for Sony, they said it is for the protection and upholding the values of safety and security of our players. It's up to you if you want to believe that. Majority of the players probably won't or will. It's the same thing with the anti-cheat software the game has, which doesn't seem to be working. I have seen posts about hackers and even some data miners, which I actively avoid now. And yes, the video that got copyright strike was about data mined weapons and stratagems. I also realized not knowing what or when we are getting new content is also part what makes Helldivers 2 interesting and unique. Anyway, that's in the past. I have moved on from that, back to the topic. If Sony is adamant in keeping this account linking, then they will see a significant drop in player numbers, the life source of any live service game. Sony struck oil with Helldivers 2. This game became a cultural phenomenon. Sony has been looking for their own live service game. That's why they bought Bungie, the developers of Destiny, for $3.6 billion in 2022. Arrowhead Game Studios, a AA studio, handed them that. Sony will have to choose who to appease, their shareholders or their customers. And we know who will they choose. I still plan on linking my Steam account with my PSN account unless they revert this change. Making account linking temporarily disabled to permanently disabled, or the best solution for both parties, is to give us the option to opt out from account linking, and we just don't have access to cross-platform. If you live in a country where PSN is not supported, but plan to at least try this, be sure to use an account you are willing to lose. I'm not saying your PSN account is going to get banned, but there is a possibility. I am curious how this will all plan out. Even if you think you're not affected by this because your country is available in the PlayStation Network, it still does. You have lesser players to play with, and it sets a precedent in the gaming industry. Part of me wants to see Arrowhead's reaction when Sony gave them the Order 66 PSN needed. I am 100% sure they weren't happy about it. Imagine you were finally able to stabilize the servers, then 3 months later, you need to bring back a feature that is required for the entire player base, and this could have a possibility to destabilize that. That's my opinion in the matter. I want to hear yours, so sound them off in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching.